Thanks to the support as a channel member, Jack Watson. Boys and girls, it looks like we're as good at football as I suspected we were going to be this season. Today we have another Champions League game and a top-of-the-table clash against Chelsea. Hello and welcome to Club 3, part 25 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we face top-of-the-table rivals, championship title, rivals Chelsea away in the Premier League, and then we're also away against basically our feeder club, Porto, in the Champions League. Since you were last with me, we have returned to winning ways after the defeat against Barcelona, including putting 5 goals past Galatasaray in the Champions League, and a very important 2-1 win over Manchester United in the Premier League with 2 goals from Jack Joyce, who is becoming something of a superstar for us. This is what the Premier League table looks like. Both us and Chelsea with unbeaten starts to the season. Something's got to give today, and hopefully it'll be Chelsea because they've won the Premier League loads since we last won it. Arsenal last winning the Premier League so long ago that you can't even scroll to find it. Goodness me. So a win today would be very nice. And then the Champions League group looks like this. 2 games played. We play Porto now, a win against them, and we are right back in the mix. And with Barcelona still to play at home later on in the group, we might even top the group yet, which would be lovely. So this is the team for the game against Chelsea. You can see that hold on. What's past Kev up to here? Why is Ben Warren in the side? I'm sure past Kev has a plan. I'm just going to try and work out what his plan was. I mean, he's a good player, don't get me wrong. Star rating wise, he's as good as Almada and getting better. He did score, I think, in the Champions League for us. So, I mean, I guess he's been playing well in the last couple of games. He's earned a start. I haven't played the game for like 3 days. I recorded the last bunch of episodes all on one day, and I've been focusing on planning for the new season since. So I'm not entirely sure why Neo's in, why Joyce is still in up front, why Warren's in midfield, but we're going to trust past Kev. And if it all goes wrong, we know never to trust that idiot again. So we're going with Morao in goal, a back four of Asante, Gabriel, Brand and Tamela, Chawalski and Barrow in midfield, Magno, Warren and Neo supporting Joyce up front. He should probably be an inside forward. You know what? An inverted winger. Let's make him an inverted winger. I can see Pedri's injured, which is part of the explanation for why Warren is in. And then I guess the logic is Warren goes in ahead of Almada. We're trying to rush his development. He's young. He's a wonder kid, and we want him to be established before the end of the season so I can claim I did it rather than letting him be something that the next manager gets to celebrate for developing. So I guess I can kind of understand that. Plus, he's a British homegrown in nation player as well. So he's going to become an important part of the Champions League push as the season goes on, because we've basically got too many non-UK players for the Champions League, or non-homegrown players. So Warren is in ahead of some of the other players that would normally be in that squad ahead of him if everything was equal. And we've conceded an early goal here, but I think the referee's disallowing it. Good work, referee. I've always been a big fan of referees, and particularly VAR. In my experience, it's just great. It remains 0-0, and we don't need to see the replay because he's well offside. He's miles offside. It wasn't even him. It was the guy running back and absolutely not interfering with play, but we're not going to argue. The goal was disallowed. That's the important thing. Warren with a flick on there from the Asante throw that ends up back with Gabriel from the lump forward from Chelsea, and now Brand, who we've obviously recording the last few episodes all together. I haven't had a chance to respond to the feedback about Brand yet. It seems you lot think he should either be a right back or a defensive midfielder because he's short. I maintain 5'10" is fine. He'll be all right as a centre back, and I actually think he's the best centre back I've seen in FM21. I would, if this was a streamer showdown, I would pick him ahead of Virgil van Dijk, and that is saying something. So yeah, Brand is a centre back, and I'm not going to be messing around playing him in other positions. We've got good fullbacks. We don't play with a defensive midfielder. Brand is a centre back, and as a covering centre back, he is phenomenal. Although he didn't actually get across and get the cover in there, but I think that's because Chelsea are offside again. The ref's going back over to the VAR again. Like I say, big fan of VAR around these parts. And the second Chelsea disallowed goal of the game after only 17 minutes is in. It's pretty clear they're trying to break our offside trap, our high line, and they're getting close. We don't actually play with an offside trap, but we do play with a very high defensive line, and a lot of the pressure then goes on to Brand getting into cover. And I'm going to say those 2 times they've got in and scored and had them disallowed, if they'd have been onside, Brand clears it. Brand sweeps it up because that's what he's been doing. He's been in there as a real top tier covering defender, and he's there you go. He's in again there. 2 headers won in this highlight. See, being 5'10", 5'10's not short. I mean, it is. I'm 6'2". Anything less than that is short, but 5 foot. You know, LOLLUJO, you would love to be 5'10", wouldn't you? 5'10's like average height. I think this one is Brand being beaten in the air, isn't it? Oh dear. The 3rd time today Chelsea have had the ball in the back of the net. They've given up their plan of trying to break our defensive line and just got in behind us, got a crossover. Is it Brand who's beaten in the air? I think it is. Oh no, it's not. It's whoever that is. Tamella's beaten in the air. So yay for me. Not my fault. Tamela is 6 foot tall, playing at right back, and he got beaten in the air where Brand didn't earlier on in the highlight. So Kev's always right. As we've learned that by now. We know Kev's always right. What we do need to do, though, is make sure we get back into this game, because I had hopes of an invincible season. And I think even if we lose today, I suspect we'll still win the league, because I think we'll be the better team over the course of the season. But it would be nice to win it invincibly. But it looks like Chelsea have got other ideas, because they are relentlessly coming at us again. And Brand gets the tackle in. He's given away a penalty and got himself sent off. So, to summarise, he's good. Oh, we're going over to the VAR again. Am I still a big fan of VAR? Okay, he didn't get the second yellow card for it. So I guess that's something. But we now need a penalty save. We do not get one. And this is really not going to plan. Chelsea have now had the ball in the back of the net 4 times in this game, and we've not really done anything that looks remotely like an attack yet. This is where some of you fancy pants button clickers would be starting to change stuff, whereas I'm more of a mind of, we'll lose this one. It's fine. We'll beat them in the return fixture. We'll still win the league. I'm all right. I know it's infuriating. There's not really much we can do other than, I guess, take off Warren and bring on Almada, which would probably be sensible. Miliacio's not fully fit. We're going to leave things as they are for now. What we will do, though, is go attacking, and we're going to encourage. We've tried demanding more. Now it's time to encourage. If encouragement doesn't work, I'm going to berate them. I don't do a lot of berating, but it might be time to start berating a bit more often. Gabriel being on a yellow card does not concern me. Neo not playing well does concern me, and Magno being tired does concern me. So those 2 can both come off. So Neo, it's not often you get that message come up. He's just had a bad game. And Magno for Almada, and I think we're also going to bring on Liam Delap and just make it a triple change and hope that we can find a way back into this game. We are going to berate now. So berate the entire team, including the players who've just come on. They'll love that. They've just made it onto the pitch. I sent the beration with them. Is that what you would say? Beration? Asante to Warren. Barrow now crossing over, looking for, I think it's Carlos Alberto coming in off that right-hand side, but doesn't find him. Gabriel's there to cover. And now Asante back to Gabriel again. And we need to get this ball forward. Asante, not like that. That's not the way to get the ball forward. And now it makes me sad seeing Donnarumma in goal for someone other than me. I mean, I know we've signed a world-class goalkeeper, but I'd absolutely swap him for Donnarumma. I love Donnarumma. And that has got to be offside. That has to be offside. We don't even need to go to VAR for this one, surely. He's so far offside. Going to VAR here is just a waste of everybody's time. And it was clear he was about 4 or 5 yards offside. We're going to get the replay to confirm it. No, we don't even need a replay because he was so far offside. We're demanding more again. This is our first defeat of the season then. Chelsea maintain their unbeaten start. Warren isn't ready to play in a big game like this. And I'm a silly goose. This is why I shouldn't have 3 days off from making content, or making content on this series, because I forget what's going on. I'm sure there was logic to it when it happened. Carlos Alberto scored a very strange goal there that I don't really know how it's gone down for Carlos Alberto, because I think Delap touches this in. Let's try and work out what's gone on. Warren gives it to him, and then it's a slight deflection off the Chelsea defender, actually, rather than Delap. So 2-1 looks a lot more respectable than 2-0, but all the same, we were very poor in that game, and it could have been a lot worse. We can't play like that too many more times this season if we're going to win the Premier League. Well, after the pathetic performance against Chelsea, as you can imagine, lots of changes made for the Porto games. We're going with Morao in goal, back four of Rashevsky, Gabriel Brand and Remy, Chvalski and Rengifo in midfield, João Pedro, Miliaccio and Neo behind Joyce up front. We would have Rui Camara back in the side today, but he's just picked up an injury. He's going to be out for the next couple of weeks with a pulled hamstring. Pedri's still not fit enough to be involved. Other than that, anyone not involved is not involved because I don't want him involved. Apart from Liam Delap, I do kind of want him involved, but Joyce has been playing so well that I've got too much loyalty for Joyce because he was my boy first, even though he's only here on loan. Liam Delap, without him, we don't win the Champions League last year. He was the perfect signing at the perfect time when we first arrived here at Arsenal, and I probably need to show a little bit more loyalty to him compared to the guy who was on loan for me for 5 months when we were in the Championship years ago. But I like to pretend that I discovered him, which means it's nice to have a player that I discovered as a 17-year-old being a Champions League quality superstar. It shows Kev's still got a good eye, even though as a loan player, there's a very good chance he was actually found by my director of football because they often do the loans for me. But let's not get too bogged down in that kind of detail. João Pedro plays it into Joyce, and I thought Joyce was going to once again confirm that past Kev is a genius, but his shot is far too easy for the Porto goalkeeper to deal with, and it's a little bit of a shame that Rui Camara can't play today against his former club, but we do like to raid Porto from time to time, so I imagine there's players playing in the Porto side today who will be in Arsenal shirts at some point in the future, and Jack Joyce has just got his 9th goal of the season to prove once and for all that past Kev is a genius. It's a lovely finish as well. The bend on this shot is something else. Miliaccio playing it into Joyce. Two of the youngsters that I found at Posh as 17-year-olds combining, João Pedro getting involved as well. And that bend on that shot was absolutely ridiculous. So as things stand, we are level on points with Barcelona at the top of the league. Galatasaray actually ahead against Barcelona at the moment. So that really does start to open this group up for when we play Barcelona. I think we play Barcelona at home next. I'm not entirely sure. But you know what? If we end up not winning the league, but winning the Champions League for a second year in a row, I'll take that as a series ender as well. We'll just assume that the Premier League is utterly unwinnable, and next year we'll avoid it so that we can go and win a league that's a little bit more winnable. It's certainly the most competitive league in FM, although we did win it with Leicester. So this team has got to be better than my Leicester team. I mean, we'll find out for sure towards the end of FM21 when we do the LOLLUJO Cup, when I put all of my squads from FM21 together in one big tournament, and we'll find out who my team of the year was. But I suspect this Arsenal team is better than that Leicester team. But I guess the Leicester team did have Donnarumma and Haaland and players like that in it, and Neymar. So actually, I mean, it's going to be quite interesting come the end of the year to find out which one of these two teams is the better side. This one, obviously, more full of new gens. That one was more a who's who of current superstars. Right, I'm going to make you all happy and play Brand at right back for the second half here because of an injury to Remy. And Tamella's not on the bench, so Brand can go out there. I guess I could have put Asante out there, but I'm all about keeping the chat happy. It's not Twitch, Kev, this is YouTube. Keeping the comments happy. You know I love the comments. Never mock the comments section. Never try and troll the comments section. Me in the comments section, we are like that. And if you make a suggestion, if it's a good suggestion, I'm probably going to go with it, like I have here. We're playing Joachim Brand as a right back. Miliaccio wasn't fully fit to play against Chelsea, and it is tiring in this game as well. So we're going to bring Almada on for him, actually playing as an attacking midfielder like he should have done against Chelsea. He could have been a difference maker against Chelsea if we'd have actually played him in his position. And Neo is confirming that he is not a wide player, so Saka can come on for him. He'll go to his normal inverted winger role. And Neo, we will not play on the right wing anymore because that's 2 games in a row I've had the message telling me about how bad he played there. And like I say, I could probably count on one hand the amount of times in FM21 I've had that message on the dugout. So to have it in 2 consecutive games for the same player does not bode well for that player, albeit he is playing out of position. Almada now slotting it through, looking for the run of Saka, but can't find him. A Porto goal here would be troublesome because this group is starting to tighten up. And yeah, this is going to be an interesting group. I'm assuming Barcelona's still losing. We're now dropping points again. Who's at fault for this? Brand at right back. Told you he was a centre back, didn't I? Comment section. And Barcelona have turned things around against Galatasaray as well. Porto score again here. We are in serious trouble. Good job we spent all that money on a goalkeeper. My word, that episode has not been what I hoped it would be in terms of on the pitch results. Obviously, my presenting style was still as excellent as ever, but the actual on-pitch stuff, not so good. We will be back tomorrow as ever with probably Posh and Barcelona, because we all like seeing Posh, and that Barcelona game is going to be massive. So we'll do that tomorrow, I think. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.